ballpark in Arlington on Father's Day. And a lot of the fathers and sons and fathers and daughters, all they want is a Rangers sweep against the Astros. It's the Astros and Rangers coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest.
Happy Father's Day. Glad you could spend part of yours with us here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Packed again today as the Houston Astros wrap up the season series against the Rangers. The Rangers having clinched another in their series of Silver Boot trophies. And welcome again. Happy Father's Day. Dave Barnett along with Tom Grieve observing Major League Baseball's initiative this time every year promoting funds for prostate cancer research. Now, in terms of on the field, the Rangers have played very well the first two games of this series. Adrian Beltre has been right there in the middle of it.
Yeah, and that's not unusual, Dave. Adrian is in the top 10 in batting average. He's in the top 10 in RBIs. And from game 1 to game 162, might be the Rangers' most consistent performer. Hitting comes and goes, but Adrian is there every day. He's been hot lately. Went through a stretch of a few games where he might have cooled off a little bit, but he's the guy in the middle of the order along with Josh that makes everything work, and he's a very consistent performer.
And that bat more vital than ever when Josh Hamilton is out of the lineup, as he is today, but he is much improved from the intestinal virus that had him briefly hospitalized over the weekend. The Astros and the Rangers ready to wrap up this year's edition of the Lone Star Series. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Today, every home run in this game raises $20,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by calling 800-798-CURE, or you can go online to www.pcf.org. So you'll see a lot of the light blue wristbands. Some light blue bats have been known to appear on Father's Day over the last several years as this Major League Baseball initiative has grown. Rangers going for a 3-game sweep after winning yesterday in come-from-behind fashion. And on Friday night, behind one of the strongest starts yet from Yu Darvish in a 6-2 win. So the Rangers with these 2 wins up to 12 games over 500 at 39-27. They can get to 13 over for the first time since May 28th when they were 31-18. Overall, they've won 5 of the last 6 and the last 3 series, including this one. Angels get underway a little bit later, hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks, 4 games behind Texas, as Colby Lewis and the Rangers take the field. Here's the Astros starting lineup today. Center fielder Jordan Schaefer leading off. Second baseman is Jose Altuve. Jed Lowry batting third at short. Carlos Lee just activated today off the disabled list as the DH, and he bats cleanup. The right fielder Brian Bogasevic. Justin Maxwell is in left. The catcher is Jason Castro. Matt Downs batting 8th and playing first, and batting 9th is the third baseman Brian Bixler. And our Nissan scouting report for Colby.
Well, Colby has a 1-loss record of 5-5, but he's got the 10th best ERA in the American League. His last 2 starts have been complete games. He's pitched exceptional in those 2 games. 3-1, 2.02 ERA, a 185 opponent's batting average in 5 career starts against the Astros, including 1 in Houston this year. Tuesday against Arizona, complete game, 4 hits, 1 run, and typically for Colby, about 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. That's generally what he averages. On the season, he averages just a little bit over 1 walk per 9 innings, the best ratio in Major League Baseball. And when you take all the strikeouts he's had, his strikeout to walk ratio is 6.7. That's the best in Major League Baseball as well.
Here is the Ranger defense today. Nelson Cruz in left field with Craig Gentry in center. Brandon Snyder gets the start in right, with the infield of Young, Andrews, Kinsler, Napoli, and Yorvi Torrealba behind the plate. Dale Scott will be calling our balls and strikes this afternoon. First base is Dan Iasonia. C.B. Buckner at second, and Bill Miller will be the third base umpire this afternoon. And it is a scorcher up around 90 degrees as Colby Lewis prepares to go after his 6th win, trying to get back over 500. Maybe continue his string of back-to-back complete games. Last Ranger to string together 3 consecutive complete games. Kenny Rogers, first year at this ballpark, his perfect game season of 1994. So here is Jordan Schaefer. With 3 hits and 4 trips yesterday, stole the base, drove in a run. His 3rd 3-hit game of the season. As the Astros wrap up a long road trip, 3 cities, 9 games. They're 3-5 on the trip so far. Right at 90 degrees for our first pitch. Foul back out of play and a ball and a strike to Schaefer. Jordan, a 3rd round pick by the Braves in 2005. Out of high school in Winter Haven, Florida. Parts of a couple of seasons with them. He came over in the Michael Bourne trade and lost that one well down the line and foul, 1-2. Astros have been very happy with Schaefer early in the season. They were saying may look like a steal of the deal, even though they gave up a outstanding young talent in Michael Bourne. Very happy with what they have seen from Schaefer so far.
Yeah, he's got to go a ways to reach the level that Michael Bourne's reached, but at the same time he's young, might have a little more power potential. He's cheaper, and he kind of fits the rebuilding process that Houston is trying to go through right now. By the time Houston is good, good breaking ball for strike 3. Michael Bourne would have been making a ton of money, and I think they just felt that it made more sense to go in that direction. Schaefer had his opportunity to hit the fastball. First 4 pitches were fastballs. Didn't take advantage of the opportunity. Then he had to deal with that hard breaking ball down and in. When you've got 2 strikes and you're a left-hand hitter, that's usually where that breaking ball will be, down and in. A little bit out of the strike zone, tough to lay off of.
So Schaefer the first out. Here is Jose Altuve, who was the leadoff hitter when this series began, batting 2nd today. And with a .320 batting average, that is at the tops among all major league second basemen. 82 hits, also the most for that position.
Both the first 2 hitters saw fastballs early in the count. They fouled them off. They got behind in the count.
And 6 of Colby Lewis's first 7 pitches have been strikes. Here's the 0-2. And that foul back. This season looked to be such a rebuilding project after trades involving Bourne, Hunter Pence last year. A lot of people would be shocked, I'm sure, if you had told them 4 or 5 months ago this team would be only 11 games under 500. That's not bad compared to expectations for this Houston team this year. 27-38 is their record. And down to first base, Dan Iasonia rings up Altuve on the check swing, strikeout number 2.
That's a carbon copy of the first at bat. Both guys got 3 or 4 fastballs to hit and then had to deal with a breaking ball, and neither one of them could lay off it. Kobe's had 2 strikeouts with the first 2 hitters. And you're talking about, Dave, the improvement in the Astros. One of the main reasons is that little guy right there, Altuve, hitting at the top of the lineup, hitting .320. They wouldn't be anywhere near where they are right now without him. He's by far their best player. He and Jed Lowry.
All 5'5" of them. That pitch ending a string of 8 consecutive strikes served up by Lewis.
Altuve came up through the system, was a great minor league hitter. Lowry came over in a trade from the Red Sox, and he's also been a great find. Shortstop who can hit in the middle of the lineup for him. He's hit 13 home runs this year. So Altuve and Lowry, big reasons why their offense is solid right now.
Yeah, Jed Lowry, 13 homers, leads the Astros. Number 13 in the first last night, and he leads all major league shortstops 2 more homers than J.J. Hardy. On the outside corner there for a 2-1 count. Jed Lowry has had some success against Colby Lewis. 4 for 9 with a home run. Outside corner again, and it's 2-2. Lowry coming over in a trade that involved Mark Melanson. Has not been much of a factor at all since becoming a Red Sox. And a big swing and a miss. And Colby Lewis strikes out the side in the top half of the first inning on 14 pitches. Rangers coming to bat. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Want to break up with a vehicle that's breaking down? Then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designated driver. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. An impressive first inning of 3 strikeouts for Colby Lewis, setting up the Rangers for the bottom of the first to send Kinsler, Andrus, and Young to the plate. Josh Hamilton in the clubhouse before the game, saying he feels better, but Ron Washington will give him today off, recovering from the intestinal virus that briefly had him hospitalized in the last couple of days.
Yeah, it'd be tough to jump right back out of the hospital into a 90-degree day for a day game, so I think that's a wise thing to do for Josh.
The game day decision tomorrow in San Diego.
A scouting report on Dallas Keuchel. Major league debut at Oklahoma City. In 13 starts, he was 5-4 with an ERA just a little bit over 4. 7th round pick in the 2009 draft. University of Arkansas product. Had about 450 or so minor league innings. And so now he gets his opportunity at the big league level.
Keuchel's 1-2 pitch. Outside for ball 2.
By the looks of it, he's not a hard thrower. Mid-80s to upper 80s. And he's thrown a couple of changeups to Ian, so I'm sure that's a pitch he likes to feature.
Just missed there, and the count runs full. Ian has always had success against Houston Astro pitching. Yesterday snapped an 0 for 14. That hits in his final 2 at-bats. And a slow grounder out to second. Altuve there to make the play. So next it'll be Elvis Andrus, Michael Young in the 3-hole, and playing third base is Adrian Beltre will be the DH today and hit in the cleanup spot. Nelson Cruz in left, Mike Napoli at first, Brandon Snyder in right field. And batting 7th, Toriyama catching, Craig Gentry in center field and batting 9th. Elvis with an average of .295. A good homestand, 316. In the top 10, a number of offensive categories, including hits. He goes after the first pitch. Little dribbler picked up on the bare hand by Bixler, the third baseman. And Andrus an easy out, number 2.
Yeah, Elvis didn't get out of the box very well. I wasn't watching. I don't know if he slipped or not. Bixler was playing way in at third base, so he's going to be able to make the play anyway. Generally, this kind of a swinging bunt down the third baseline would be a base hit. You can see Elvis slipped, so it wasn't going to be a problem for Bixler. But see how far he's in and how quickly he charged it. He's going to be able to make that play anyway. He was ready to barehand it and throw it, and then looked up and didn't have to.
So with 2 outs, here is Michael Young, and he takes ball 1. Michael adding another Rangers career record to his growing list, his 12th to be exact, with a sacrifice fly yesterday, tying the all-time record of 66, which had been held quite some time by Ruben Sierra. dozen Ranger career records.
I'm sure one of the reasons the Astros considered Keuchel for this opportunity to start is the fact that he only walked 15 batters in 80 AAA innings. He throws strikes. And first time through the lineup, it'll take the Rangers a while to get used to him with the assortment of off-speed pitches he has. Changeup, that was a big slow curveball that he also throws. His last 3 starts at AAA have gone pretty well, but the 2 starts prior to that, he gave up 24 hits and 20 runs in 7 2/3 innings. So he had a couple of starts he'd like to forget. But recently he's thrown the ball better than that, at least results-wise.
Just missed outside.
The last fastball was 90 miles an hour, so that's approaching average.
Works fairly quickly. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that fouled off. Keuchel just added to the roster today from Oklahoma City. Bud Norris put on the DL with a sprained knee. 24-year-old lefty. Trying to match Colby Lewis with a 1-2-3 first. His 2-2 pitch to Michael Young. Just foul tipped.
That looked like his 4th pitch, which would be a pretty good slider down and in. Saw Wade Miley from Arizona feature that pitch frequently in the great start that he had against the Rangers.
Off speed, but outside for ball 3, and 2 of the first 3 batters worked a full count.
A wide variation in the speeds of his fastball, 86 to 90, and his changeup around 74 miles an hour.
Sixteenth pitch of the inning at 3-2, and fouled off again. This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat coming up. Rangers winners of 5 of the last 6. Their 3rd straight series clinched last night. Best string of series wins since they won the first 6 series right out of the gate this year. And way up high for ball 4. The Astros defensively today. Justin Maxwell is in left field with Jordan Schaefer in center, Brian Bogusevic in right. Brian Bixler getting to start at third base with Lowry, Altuve, and Matt Downs at first, and Jason Castro doing the catching. So Adrian Beltre will hit with 2 outs and a man on. Average up over 300 again. 2 hits, 2 runs batted in last night, and hitting .444 on this homestand. He scored 4. He has driven in 4. Keuchel gets that breaking ball to drop just at the very top of the strike zone.
Yeah, that one was 68 miles an hour.
Dallas Keuchel's major league debut. 0-2. He would love to come close to the performance that the Rangers got yesterday out of Justin Grimm, his debut. About as well as anybody could have hoped. The Rangers had to come from behind, trying to get an early lead here today.
Yeah, in both games, the Rangers got a big defensive break. In the opening game, it was a ground ball hit to third that was thrown away at first base that led to a huge inning. Yesterday, it was a rundown play that wasn't executed properly, and that led to Beltre's 2-run hit and Cruz's home run. If both those plays are made, you don't know how the game would have turned out, but it wouldn't have gone as well for the Rangers, that's for sure.
Bouncing ball to Altuve at second base, and that takes care of the Rangers' first inning. A walk, one man left after one, scoreless.
On this Father's Day here at the ballpark, including 95-year-old Ed Lamb enjoying the game. Good to have him out here, and happy Father's Day to every father out there watching this afternoon. In Community Corner this afternoon, we're talking about the junior RBI program, the Texas Rangers. They participated. A number of the participants took part in a parade before the game. Close to 200 of them. Junior RBI program is backed by Ron Washington, Hugh Darvish, and also Adrian Beltre. To find out more, log on to TexasRangers.com/foundation. Dave?
All right, the first two pitches, strikes for Carlos Lee, just off the disabled list today. He was there with a strained left hamstring beginning June 1st. We had 3 games of rehab work at AA Corpus Christi. Went 5 for 10 with a home run. Looked like he was ready and activated today. Guy was always swung a dangerous bat against Ranger pitching. As witnessed by that line drive single up the middle on an 0-2 pitch.
Well, the first 3 hitters got breaking balls that they struck out on. That one to Lee was an 0-2 breaking ball, but he never got it down and away where he wanted it. That one stayed near the middle of the plate, and Lee took advantage of it.
So the Astros' first base runner is Carlos. And it will bring up Brian Bogusevic, the right fielder. 4 homers, 17 runs batted in for Brian. And he rips a base hit to right field. Snyder over for it, and his throw into second base as Lee trots to third, and with nobody out, Astros on the corners here in the top of the second.
That first ball hitting, got the fastball inside part of the plate and put a good swing on it.
There's a little early test for the hamstring for Carlos Lee. Seemed to arrive at third without so much as a wince, so a good sign for the Astros there to keep him healthy, at least for today. We missed him for the last couple of weeks. So an RBI opportunity here for the left fielder, Justin Maxwell. Average is .243, but on the rise. His last 17 games, he's hit better than .300. And looks at strike one. Seven home runs, including a major league high 3 pinch home runs this year for Maxwell.
And Maxwell looks like he can center the fastball pretty well, but he might be a little susceptible to the breaking ball. I'm sure Kobe's game plan is not to give him a fastball to hit. Last night, Justin Grimm got a big strikeout in a key situation with a good breaking ball to him.
Maxwell not chasing that one out of the zone.
But this is a situation where you would go for the strikeout, men on first and third and nobody out.
Got it right there. Same pitch. This time Justin waved at it. All 4 outs recorded by Lewis are strikeouts.
And really, Maxwell is going to have to show that he can lay off of that pitch to avoid having to see it time and time again. Just the kind of guy, a younger hitter with really great power, but he appears to be a dead fastball hitter. And pitchers with good breaking balls are not going to give him a good fastball to hit. Not on purpose, anyway.
So there's the first out. Rangers now hope for the double play to end the inning, and the catcher Jason Castro steps up. And Castro, like Maxwell, not impressive when you look at the seasonal average of .252, but it is more recently. Over the last 9 games, he's at .367, so he is on the rise as well. Take it back a little further, last 14 games hitting better than .340. And the first pitch breaking ball just foul.
First pitch breaking ball and a first pitch broken bat.
Here are today's keys to the game, brought to you by Land Rover.
You look at Colby Lewis, has 6.7 strikeout to walk ratio, best in Major League Baseball. The Astros this series have only walked twice, and they've struck out 27 times. So that should play to Colby's advantage, and so far it has. He's struck out 4 batters and hasn't walked anybody. And based on the first 2 games, that's pretty much what you'd expect in this game. He is in a jam, though, first and third and 1 out. Love to have another strikeout or ground ball turn a double play.
Those 27 strikeouts are up to date, including the 4.
Oh, they're counting the 4.
Out.
Okay.
So.
And even without the 4, 23 to 2 in the first 2 games is pretty solid.
Who wouldn't take that? Absolutely right. That pitch is in there at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to Castro.
Well, now he's got to be thinking, oh, I'm down 0-2. I've watched every other hitter that struck out see the breaking ball. Left-hand hitters, it's been down and in. But at the same time, most hitters will think in the back of their mind, but I sure don't want him to sneak a fastball by me.
Not a fastball there, and he rolls it foul.
And that was a breaking ball. Liable to see the breaking ball that's a little bit more out of the strike zone and a little bit lower than that one this time.
First 26 pitches from Colby Lewis, 22 strikes.
He had numbers like that. I think it was out in Oakland 2 starts ago. There's the one he's attempting to get him to swing and miss at. That was too far inside. He couldn't swing at that one.
Well, he has been ahead of everybody so far.
You have a lot of options here. You could try to throw a high fastball out of the strike zone to get him to chase it. You could throw a changeup and make it tail down and away, something in a location he hasn't seen yet. Or you could keep pounding that breaking ball down and in. Looks like it's going to be away. There was the changeup down and away. And he got the call. Well, you got a smart catcher like Torrealba back there. He knows he's got some great options with Colby because he's got the assortment of pitches and he's got the command. Everything had been in. He sets up away, and there's the changeup down and away. Colby gets the call. Castro walks back to the bench, a little disappointed in that call, but one of those borderline pitches. That one went Colby's way. Now, if he can get Downs right here, he pitched out of a major jam, first and third, and nobody out. One more hitter to go, though.
Matt Downs hitting just 171 for the season. He does have 4 homers, 7 RBIs. A 28-year-old out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Played 3 years for the Crimson Tide as a position player and also as a pitcher. And a swing and a foul back as Bogusevic was taken off from first. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Now this packed house rising behind Colby Lewis with a chance to strike out the side in each of the first 2 innings. One hopper. Andrews, the short way for the force. And after 2 singles open the second inning, Colby Lewis keeps Lee and Bogusevic. Dana Larson has stationed herself today. Dana?
Hi, Dave. I am out here in center field today, and in honor of Father's Day, we wanted to share a few Father's Day stories from the players. And we start with Michael Young, who, when thinking of his father, Fred, says simply, he has just always been there for me.
Well, kid, all you need really is support. You know, I didn't need to be really taught the game as much as I needed to know that my dad was in the stands during my games. That's just as important as, someone teaching you how to run the bases or play defense or go out and hit. Those things you kind of learn as you go along. If you like the game, you're going to like to practice. If you like to practice, you're going to learn the fine points of the game. But having the support of a parent is something that can never really be replaced.
Michael Young, our Geico quote of the day, a father himself, in fact, soon to be a father of 3 boys, with the 3rd expected later this summer. Dave.
Well, hopefully his Father's Day will be a good one today. Here's where Dana is relative to the center field seats out there. Found her some shade. Well done. 2-1 to Nelly Cruz. Toward the hole. Backhand by Lowry. And the throw, the nice stretch by Downs, gets Nelly by a step.
That's a nice play. Got rid of it quickly and threw it accurately, which is not that easy to do. It is somewhat easier for a big league player to do it, but think about it. When you're that far away from the target and you're going away from it and you're not stopping to plant your back foot and throw, a lot of things have to go right to make that an accurate throw and let the first baseman keep his foot on the bag.
So out number 1, and the first pitch to Mike Napoli comes in low.
But you have a hard time playing regularly in the big leagues if you can't make that play. That distinguishes a lot of big league shortstops from minor league shortstops, or big league shortstops from big league players who had to move from shortstop to a different position. The ability to go in the hole, and they all make it differently. You see Elvis go in the hole and jump and throw it. Derek Jeter made that play popular. Others they don't have the arm strength like Omar Vizquel, so they have to plan on getting rid of the ball quickly and accurately. That's kind of the way Lowry just made that play. And others, if they have time, like to plant the back foot. Michael Young used to make the play that way, plant his back foot and then kind of come right over the top and depend on his arm strength to get the ball there. The only thing that matters is if you get it there in time. There's a lot of different ways to accomplish it.
Got it there on time, and a perfect strike. Off balance from that distance. Really impressive. Keuchel ready with a 2-2 to Napoli. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mike trying to get it going. 2 for his last 20 over his last 6 games, dropping his average some 18 points to 247. And the 3-2. Dribble foul. Dallas Keuchel from not far away, Tulsa, out of Bishop Kelly High School in Tulsa. And then on to the University of Arkansas. Astros drafted him in the 7th round just 3 years ago. Big part of the Arkansas team in 09 that went to the College World Series. Chopped again to Lowry. Much easier play this time for the 2nd out. Hitting the road, take the Rangers with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today and see every Rangers out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Keuchel so far has done a good job of mixing his speeds, and all 5 outs have been softly hit ground balls. He's kept his fastball down and utilized his changeup mostly, but also a slider and a curveball. First time the Rangers have seen him, obviously. Pitched well in the minor leagues, not great.
Brandon Snyder getting to start in right field today, moving Nelson Cruz to left field in the continued absence of Josh Hamilton. And Snyder goes down on 3 pitches. 1, 2, 3 in the Rangers' second. It's brought to you by Geico Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. And by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. 90-degree afternoon. Happy Father's Day. Nothing game into the third, where the number 9 hitter Brian Bixler will lead things off. Colby Lewis has thrown 31 pitches, 26 strikes, and has struck out 5 for the lion's share of the outs he's recorded in the first 2 innings. The only non-strikeout, the Matt Downs fielder's choice grounder to end the second. So here's Bixler. Bixler called up on June 8th. He is at 313 since at Oklahoma City, hitting just over 300. And today his 6th start up with the Astros. Rolled right to where Michael Young had him played on the edge of the grass. Let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Real quick, the Fox Sports Southwest Fan Express rolled in from San Antonio this afternoon. Packed house on board. These guys and girls enjoyed the ride. They're also enjoying the game. You enjoying the game so far, right?
Loving it.
Well, happy Father's Day to you. Got the Fox Sports Southwest girls on hand and enjoying the game as well. You guys, thanks for coming. Let's get a Ranger win, huh? Yeah, there we go, Dave.
All right. Always good to see people up from San Antonio. It's traditionally been Astros company, but less and less over the years has San Antonio been the exclusive home of Astro fans. Jordan Schaefer struck out his first time up. Lewis ended up striking out the side in the first. Road trip for the Astros, in which they are 3-5 so far. They won a series in Chicago against the White Sox last weekend. Then lost 2 of 3 at San Francisco. One of those losses, the Matt Cain perfect game. And the stretch now of 9 straight games against the American League. He's trying to salvage the last game of this 3-game series. 1-2 pitch is looped out just barely beyond second base, and Elvis Andrus is there to bring it in for out number 2.
Dave, we got a lot of people that sent us things. We didn't do the game yesterday. Gonna watch this jam shot little blooper to shortstop right here. So next inning we're going to have some announcements to make. The one thing we probably won't be able to do is announce all the people that sent up notes about their dads. And believe me, we can appreciate that. We just don't have time to do that. But it's pretty obvious from the notes we got and from looking at the crowd today, the role that baseball has played in families' lives. And we'll talk more about that next inning.
Elvis Andrus turning in a nifty play to retire Altuve. 1-2-3 go the Astros in the third. Show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Fox Sports Southwest, or visit hometownkids.tv for more information.
Dave, we're talking about Father's Day, and almost every note that we've had today mentions the fact that the people are here today because it is Father's Day. And many of them talk about the role their fathers played in their lives and how important baseball was to the family growing up. And they want to come today to honor their father. And I wish we could mention everybody that's made those comments to us, but it's pretty obvious that that is the sentiment throughout the stadium today. And virtually everyone that sent us stuff mentioned that it was Father's Day, wished us happy Father's Day. They're here because it's Father's Day. And we appreciate that very much. Kip, Gale, and Shelby Holloway from Lindsay, Texas sent up some of the famous fried pies from Gainesville, Texas. We appreciate that.
One ball, one strike to Yorvit Toriaba, leading off the Ranger third.
Appreciate Gary and Robbie Farina sending up their chocolate Kahlua cake. We've had that before. Thank you very much, Gary and Robbie.
Fly ball left field. Maxwell back it over to his left a few steps. Take a look at our Ford League leaders. Interleague games. Who's the top hitter in the American League this season? None other than Craig Gentry with a .462 average. Getting ready to step up here. 2 for 4 yesterday. Scored twice. Stole a base as well.
First ball hit out of the infield by the Rangers today. Everything had been a ground ball out or one strikeout. Appreciate Dana and Mickey Ruvalt from Forney, Texas, sent up some pastries wishing us happy Father's Day. Thank you very much.
Another one in the air to left field. Over toward the gap more this time, but again Maxwell tracks it down.
Always appreciate the sweets from Suzette's Bakery in Windthorst, Texas. Cupcakes from Ashley Jones from Weatherford, Texas. And 2 blueberry pies from Angela Medlock, the executive chef at Citibank. Thank you very much for those. Helen Terry from Tatum, Texas, sent up a bunch of miniature pecan pies. I think they're all gone.
Ball 1 to Ian Kinsler. He grounded to second his first trip.
Shelby Kramer sent up, celebrating her 20th birthday cake, red velvet cupcakes. Appreciate that.
There's a base hit.
Second time around. Now we got a line drive base hit. Appreciate that too.
First hit for the Rangers, just their second base runner.
Another happy Father's Day. We appreciate those wishes from Larry and Sherry Harris, Walt and Kathy Blanchard from Texarkana. Thanks for the sweets that you sent up as well. Samantha,
you really do have quite the stack today, don't you?
I need a secretary. Samantha Young sent up oatmeal icebox cookies and mentions how much they meant to her because they were her grandmother's recipe. That's also a very common theme with the things that are sent up to us. Family recipes and how much they meant to the family, and comments like, we hope you enjoy them as much as our family enjoyed them. Also appreciate the things that were sent up from the Palestine Little League team, 7- and 8-year-olds. I think they were here yesterday. Just got it today, though. We didn't broadcast the game yesterday. The Aragi and Trykowski families sent up some red velvet swirl brownies, which didn't last long. They wanted to wish Braden a happy 7th birthday. And Andrew Garcia sent up some homemade pastries, and he's here for the first game he's ever been to with his daughter, hoping that she'll become a big baseball fan so he can teach her the game and watch Ranger baseball with her. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Almost 2 strikes for Elvis Andrus, trying to keep this 3rd inning alive. He grounded to third his first time up. Okay, Kinsler at first. Alice Keuchel in front over there.
One of the more interesting things we've had, a gift of carbonade of beef in the style of Flanders. That was prepared in memory of James Christian Peterson, father of Phyllis Peterson Stolley and Charles Stolley.
Ground ball through the hole, base hit Andrus. 2 on now with 2 out.
James Peterson was one of the Rangers' biggest fans. He died on April 21st. He was 94 years old. And the carbonade of beef evidently is a Belgian dish that that we understand is to Belgium what chicken fried steak is to Texas. So that was a very thoughtful gift.
It has to be good stuff then.
And Phyllis says, we only wish that you would define the word stuff. Well, I assume you're talking about not the stuff that we get up here. That doesn't need a definition, but a pitcher's stuff. And I've had a lot of people ask that question. It's just kind of a universal phrase that we use about pitchers, and it's just their repertoire of pitches that they throw. Most pitchers throw a fastball, a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. Some have fewer pitches, some have more. Some have, in Darvish's case, several different variations of those pitches. But those, other than a knuckleball or a screwball, are the essential pitches. And when you say a pitcher has good stuff,
runners are going. The throw to third is not in time, and it's a double steal for Kinsler and Andrews.
Ron Washington loves this play, even with 2 outs, and it's generally effective against a rookie pitcher who's concentrating on the hitter, and you feel like you might be able to take advantage of the jump that you get. And that's exactly what they did right there. So anyway, stuff. It's just a pitcher's repertoire of pitches, whatever they are that he throws. And if you say he's got good stuff, just means it's a very good quality assortment of pitches. Hope that explains it.
Keuchel's 2-0 pitch to Michael is foul back.
One of the better presentations we got today were hamburgers, which were actually cupcakes with brownies in between. They were sent by Heather Ellis. Compliments of Craig Gentry's biggest fan, she says, and in honor of her father, Mike Ellis. Throw a ball right here and I might finish. Attaboy.
He obliged.
Thank you for the sugar cookies from the Farnhams, Bob, Lindsay, Brindley, and Brian from Hallsville, Texas.
Three and one, the count to Michael Young. Full count.
And then here's a note that kind of typifies the sentiments that we've had today. Joe Wigner from Arlington sent up, must have been 8 dozen cookies. He mentions his dad, Ken Wigner, brought him up on baseball. Baseball fan for 60 years, moved to Texas from Illinois, so he's a St. Louis fan. Joe got to bring him to the playoffs last year and got to bring him to a World Series game against the Cardinals, something that he'll never forget. And his dad will be watching from Lubbock today, so happy Father's Day, Ken, and you too, Joe. Thanks for the cookies.
Very close on the 3-2 pitch, but outside to load the bases for Adrian Beltre.
Yeah, pretty nice 2-out rally right here. The 2 outs came quickly, fly balls to left field. That slider just missed a little bit outside. And now you've got Beltre, who's a hot hitter, getting big hits for the team. He's seen Keuchel one time already, grounded out to second. A chance to put the Rangers on the board like he did last night. He had the big hit with the bases loaded last night, drive in 2 runs, and the Rangers were struggling to score.
Curve drops in for a strike. Torrealba and Gentry both flied to left. Kinsler and Andrews with singles. They executed the double steal. Michael Young the walk. The 0-1 pitch to Adrian. Just off the plate.
Also had a nice note from the Ash family. There's 4 generations of the Ash family here today. Jim Knox had a family on earlier, here with all the generations in their family, and I'm sure there's many more out there just like it. So happy Father's Day to everybody, and thank you very much for everybody who's wished us happy Father's Day. We know how much that means to you, and we also know the role that baseball has played in your family's lives, so we appreciate that too.
Lofted high, not deep. Right center field. Schaefer over making the call, and that will take care of the bases loaded jam for Dallas Keuchel. August 8th, and enter to win free Rangers tickets. Visit iloveontheborder.com for more details. Well, young Dallas Keuchel works out of a bases loaded jam. Keeps this a scoreless game into the 4th inning. And it's Lowry, Lee, and Bogusevic face Colby Lewis at a nice long rest while the Rangers were mounting that threat, but takes the mound with the same score as before. This is the 40th pitch of the day for Colby, and only his 8th out of the strike zone. He has had phenomenal command so far. Struck out 5 in the first 2 innings, including Lowry his first time up. One strikeout and he would have tied the Rangers club record strikeouts in the first 2 innings of the game. Charlie Huff, 4th of July 1988, struck out 6 Yankees in the first 2 innings. The only Astro base runners, Lee and Bogusevic, who started the second with back-to-back singles. But then 2 strikeouts in the fielder's choice as Lewis put down that threat. And this is the first 3-ball count Lewis has had to deal with today. Left field. Cruz is there, trotting toward the corner for the out. And here's Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Karen Morris of the Texas Rangers is here to talk about the Rangers Foundation grant program. That's good news for area baseball and softball teams, right, Karen?
Exactly. We launched this program this spring. It's the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation grant program for baseball and softball programs. And what we want to remind folks is our deadline for the grant applications is June 30th. And virtually, if you can see me, if you're in the Rangers territory, so Oklahoma, Arkansas, all of Texas, and you see me today, go to texasrangers.com/foundation for all the grant application information. We want to help give back and give youth baseball and softball teams a chance that are struggling and need some support, a chance to continue to play.
There we go. Great news there. texasrangers.com/foundation. Go there and check it out. Maybe your baseball and softball team can get some help. Thanks, Karen. Good seeing you. Dave?
All right, here's Carlos Lee. Big swing and a miss at the fastball. He's down, no balls and 2 strikes. Same count on which he singled, leading off the second. Looks at strike 3. He thought it was inside, letting Dale Scott know it too. Scott sending him rather sternly back into the dugout, and now Brad Mills up to take up his cause.
Well, he's trying to throw the ball in. Torrealba sets up in. Pitches near the inside corner. Carlos Lee is a veteran hitter. Knows the strike zone pretty well. Didn't like that call, but borderline pitches can go either way.
So there's strikeout number 6 through 3 2/3. Now Bogusevic, he also singled his first time up. Here's our Ford game summary. 3 2/3, 2-hit ball, now 6 Ks for Lewis, and for Dallas Keuchel, 3 innings, only 2 hits and a couple of walks. That is going to go foul down the right field line.
They have one more person to thank. Bud Pierce is from Clyde, Texas. He drove over 2 hours yesterday to bring this to us, and we weren't here. He made a domino walking stick, and he mentions there's Allie holding the walking stick, the domino walking stick. He hopes that we enjoy it as much as he enjoyed making it. He says he's made these for a lot of people, and when he does, they're usually a great conversation piece, and you meet people you might not otherwise have met. He's got my,
your inscription there. I think this belongs to you, sir.
That's very nice. Well, Bud, thank you very much for sending that. I actually talked to Bud on the phone this morning, so I know he's watching. Bud, that was not only thoughtful to make it, was also thoughtful to drive 2 hours yesterday early in the morning to bring that to us. So thank you very much.
No balls, 2 strikes to Bogusevic. Lewis delivers and just able to spoil the curve.
I really wouldn't want to be a hitter hitting against Kobe. The way he's throwing the ball, not just today, but last however many starts it's been. You have no idea what pitch is coming. He can throw any pitch he wants in any count. Very seldom has he thrown the fastball where you can really take a great swing at it. And the curveball, the slider, and the changeup are such above average pitches for him that you don't know where to look or what to look for. You have to pretty much look for a fastball and hope you can adjust to the other pitches. Then the hardest part is laying off them when they're out of the strike zone. It's just a real headache for a hitter right now with the command that he's got of all his pitches.
.43 strikes, only 10 balls.
Well, generally, when you face a pitcher with a good assortment of pitches, he might not have 1 or 2 working, and you can at least narrow it down to, let's say, a fastball and a changeup or a fastball and a curveball. But with Kobe, you can't narrow it down. It's one of several different pitches. All right, he's laid off the fastball away. See if he has to contend with that breaking ball down and in. It's been such a hard thing for left-hand hitters to do. There it is.
Backhand pick at third. Michael Young, a strike across the diamond. And for the 3rd time in 4 innings, the Astros retired in order.
Ballpark in Arlington as the Astros and the Rangers play here on Father's Day. And Rangers reliever Robbie Ross says he owes his love of baseball to his dad, Chuck, who also played professional baseball. He was drafted by the Baltimore Orioles in 1975 in the 1st round. He was a catcher in his day. And when Robbie said he called to wish him a happy Father's Day this morning, he was right in the middle of trying to catch something just a little bit different than a baseball.
I actually called him this morning and said Happy Father's Day. He actually was out on a lake with my brothers in Lexington fishing. So right when I called him, he was like jumbling around and stuff. And I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm reeling a big old fish right now." And I was like, "Oh, cool. That's fun. Have a good time." And then he sent me a picture of my brother, obviously catching the first one. It was like a huge bass. So I'm sure he's having a good Father's Day today.
A very good Father's Day, no doubt. Robbie is one of 6 kids, 4 boys and 2 girls. He said he would love to be there with them, but he knows his dad is thrilled that he's here instead. Dave?
Oh, not much doubt about that. Between fishing and baseball, they've got it covered today. 1-1 to Cruz. Out in front, the ball and 2 strikes. And in his major league debut so far, Dallas Keuchel, impressive as Justin Grimm was to the Rangers yesterday. About just 2 hits, both with 2 outs in the 3rd. 2 walks, one of which loaded the bases in the 3rd. But he got Beltre to fly out and end that threat. Cruz sends that one out to right center field. Schaefer is there. Really 0 for 2. Mike Napoli, his first time up, grounded out to short. Ball 1 high. Keuchel at Oklahoma City, 5-4, 13 starts and a .426 earned run average. So far has looked better today than those numbers would indicate with this quantum step up for his major league debut. It seems far from overwhelmed with the situation. Very calm and right now matching Colby Lewis just about pitch for pitch. Colby Lewis throwing about as well as you'll ever see him throw. Behind Napoli here, 3-0.
But one thing Keuchel has done is he's done that, kept the ball down. Thrown a lot of change-ups. Rangers have never seen him before. Got to him a little bit last inning, but it happened with 2 outs.
There's his 3rd walk issued. And time for our AT&T trivia question for today. Who was the first Ranger to have 4 hits in an interleague game? Justin Grimm, so impressive yesterday in his major league debut. Especially the fact that he did not walk a batter. Feeling all the butterflies, whatever the pressure of the moment he must have felt, did not show up in the first category you expected to.
I think of the candidates to come up here and start yesterday, the thing that separated him from some of the others was just that he doesn't walk guys, that he has command. The worst thing you can do is call up a young pitcher, not have confidence that he's going to throw strikes, and watch him walk the ballpark and be gone after 2 innings. You want someone that can pitch deep into the game and throw strikes, and they were pretty confident that Grimm could do that. And then when he did it with quality stuff. Fastball that was 92, 93 miles an hour, and a really good curveball. It wasn't a fluke that he pitched well yesterday. He had the stuff to get big league hitters out.
This doesn't look like the Keuchel of his last 8 starts at AAA at all. In those 8, he went 1-3, ERA of 6.13. One of those outings, 12 runs in 4 innings at Reno. But behind Snyder here, 3 balls and no strikes. He struck Brandon out his first time up. Snyder the start in right field today, because that's where he feels most comfortable reading the ball off the bat. Working with Gary Pettis, improving his outfielding skills with great results from spring training to today. But given the choice, they figured move Cruz over to left, let Snyder play where he figures to have a better time getting to whatever balls come his way. And that is why the move of Cruz with Snyder in right today. He was ready to head down to first base. Dale Scott said nope. Got it in at the knees, and it's 3-2.
Well, it's a good sinker. Down low. If you swing at that, your chances are you're going to hit a ground ball. So he had a couple of strikes to take. I've got a chance to get another one. Maybe he gets this one up a little bit.
.68 pitches, 40 strikes so far for Keuchel. Former Arkansas Razorback from Tulsa. .24 years old. And the 3-2 fouled off. Scoreless game into the middle innings today. Yesterday, Rangers had to come from behind, and they got 5 runs in a span of 2 pitches. Third time that's happened in the majors this year. 2 pitches, including the 3-run Cruz home run. Snyder down swinging. Both Keuchel strikeouts of Snyder. Time now for our AT&T U-verse reverse replay. Here was Justin Grimm in his debut.
Fastball, first strikeout, hard breaking ball. They really had a hard time laying off his breaking ball. Most of the strikeouts came on that overhand curveball. Proud parents and family. And rightfully so. That was an outstanding major league debut. 56 strikes out of 88 pitches.
7 strikeouts. Ball 1 to Torrealba. He flied to left in the 3rd. Ron Washington, as you might expect, asked today if that outing ensures that Grimm will get another start next time that spot comes open in the rotation. He says no, for now the rotation stays the same, but we didn't immediately send him back to Frisco. Read into that whatever you might like. The main thing to read into it is they were impressed as fans had to be in watching his work yesterday.
Yeah, he can't guarantee if he's going to get another start, but Justin can feel pretty good that he pitched well and put himself in position if the opportunity arises to get that start. Well, one of the other variables is Roy Oswalt and when he'll be ready to come up. Rangers didn't sign Oswalt to pitch in the minor leagues, but they're not going to call him up till he's ready to do what Grimm did yesterday. That's pitch deep into a game and have quality stuff. Right now, Oswalt's not quite there yet. So I'm sure they're not going to make any comment on who's going to be starting until they see what Oswalt does.
2 balls and 2 strikes down to Jorvik. Grimm kept it close enough until his bats came alive, and the Ranger bats have yet to come alive in this one. Both teams no runs on 2 hits, no errors. Astros have left 2. The Rangers have left 4. They left them loaded in the 3rd. Pitch is starting to mount now for Keuchel. His 3rd straight 3-ball count. 21 pitches so far this inning.
Now he's going out of his way not to throw a strike and get the Rangers to swing at pitches out of the strike zone. He's done a good job of it. He hasn't thrown many good pitches to hit.
Missing again. 4-4.
Well, that's his 4th walk. We mentioned earlier that in the minor leagues he only walked 15 batters in 80 innings. He's walked 4 now in 4 innings, and a lot of that is because he knows the reputation of the Ranger hitters, and he's going out of his way to be careful, which you can't blame him.
Well, Nolan Ryan introduced us to snow monkeys during a local radio interview following his days as Texas Parks and Wildlife Commissioner. This season, they make their debut here at Rangers Ballpark on Sunday, July 1st. It's Chicken Express, Nolan Ryan Snow Monkey Night for kids when the Rangers take on the A's. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. We've already got people putting in early orders for snow monkeys. Then he happened to float through the booth. They will not hang around long. I expect that to be a very popular promotion. I guarantee it's got to be the first ever snow monkey night in Major League history. We can say that. Craig Gentry flied to left his first time up.
Well, Craig's hitting .346 coming into the game. He's been getting some big hits for the ball club. He had the hit in the 1-0 game the other night. Smash past third to drive in the only run. Having good at bats, whether it's a lefty pitching or a righty.
Keuchel has started all 5 batters this inning with ball 1. That is a fair ball, diving stop, but nowhere to go with it for Bixler. And the bases are loaded.
Well, Bixler did a good job just from keeping this ball going down the line. If he did, 2 runs probably score. If he didn't do that, so he at least blocks the ball, then had no play. There was nothing he could do after that. He did keep a run from scoring, and maybe 2.
So Napoli stops at 3rd. Torrealba now at 2nd. Gentry aboard on the infield hit. To the top of the order now, and Kinsler, who has grounded to 2nd and singled.
2nd straight inning to have the bases loaded with 2 outs.
And strike 1. In the 3rd, Keuchel got Beltre to fly to center field. And that stranded Kinsler at 3rd. He was also the front end of a double steal executed with Andrews. Young then walked to load the bases. Keuchel wriggled off that hook. A pop up straight up. And the first baseman Downs just in fair territory to retire Kinsler and leave the bases loaded for the 2nd consecutive inning. This Father's Day. Who was the first Ranger to have 4 hits in an interleague game? Why, it was Mark McLemore. You remember that?
Wow.
June 17, 1997?
You know, I think I remember the day, as a matter of fact. I do remember that. But what I remember it more so than anything was Darren Oliver, I believe, was pitching that day. And I was in the on-deck circle, and he got hit. And he just turned and looked at me, and he mouthed. He didn't say it out loud, but he mouthed, "Mac, that really hurts." So it just, I was just, it was hysterical at the time. So I
figured you'd understand because you're a hitter. You've been hit before. It's like, I don't get to hit much. I've never been hit before. That hurts.
Yes. Now you know what it feels like when you hit somebody.
Yeah, when you've done it to other people. It's payback.
Well, Justin Maxwell looks at strike 2. He struck out his first time up.
He's going to have to hit a breaking ball right here. He might have had his fastball to hit. Oh. See, that's what's so tough about Kobe. You think you got him figured out, and he doesn't do what you think. That's what the hitters are going through.
Pitch number 60. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And even that pitch there, I'm thinking, okay, he went outside. He's got him leaning over the plate. Now he's going to run a little two-seamer inside on him. Didn't do it again. You just have no idea what he's going to throw.
Nope.
Once again, strikes out Maxwell. Number 7 on the day.
And Maxwell is an athlete. He's got some great strength. He can put a charge in a fastball, but breaking ball is a little bit foreign to him right now. Especially that one. That's foreign to a lot of people. That's probably not fair to say. That breaking ball struck out a lot of guys over the last few years.
That brings up Castro, who struck out looking his first time up. And Mac, something Tom was talking about earlier. It's so tough if you're facing Colby Lewis, because you never really have any idea what's going to come. Would you rather face somebody like that who maybe doesn't throw 98 miles an hour, or somebody you know what's coming, and then it's just a matter of hitting, even if you guess right?
I'd rather face somebody that would that was around the plate that didn't throw 98. If you've got a guy out there throwing 98 and with movement, it doesn't matter if you know what's coming or not. But a guy that's throwing 88, I think. Anyway, I had a better chance anyway of putting that guy in play as opposed to the 98 with movement. Kobe has tremendous movement, curveball. His fastball is not straight. He runs it in, runs it down. He makes it very difficult for him to hit. But I'd rather face a guy that was around the plate throwing 88 than 98.
What about you, Tag? What were your preferences?
I'd rather face personally a hard thrower that I had a pretty good feel he was going to throw a fastball than Kobe. As a right-hand hitter, that breaking ball would give me the same kind of results that Justin Maxwell has seen tonight. I can empathize with him. I couldn't hit that in a million years. And there's just not enough. I was, like most hitters, especially most average hitters, we were fastball hitters. And with Kobe, you just don't get enough of them. They have movement, and not enough of them are in the good hitter zone to really take advantage of it. So I'd rather have a fastball pitcher.
There's his first walk, only his 3rd 3-ball count.
Well, Kobe walks a batter per 9 innings. And I think a lot of times if you ask Kobe, was there anything negative about your performance, he would say, yeah, I didn't want to walk anybody. Generally, it's no walks or 1 walk in a game.
I think he'd rather give up a home run than to walk guys.
Yeah.
At least the guy swung the bat and put the ball in play, as opposed to him giving a batter a base.
Those stats are actually pretty equal. He's given up 15 homers. That's only his 12th walk all year. And only the 3rd base runner of the afternoon for Houston. Matt Downs ended the 2nd with a fielder's choice grounder. 2nd inning started with singles by Lee and Bogusevic. Lewis struck out Maxwell, struck out Castro, and then got the grounder from Downs. He had retired 10 straight before this walk to Castro. And off the mid of Torrealba. And he can't find it. Meanwhile, Castro is headed to third. He looked for a ricochet off the wall that never happened on this wild pitch.
He just had no idea. After the ball hits the ground, goes off his glove, doesn't know whether he blocked it, which angle it took. That allows the catcher to go all the way around on the wild pitch. Colby pitched out of first and third and nobody out in the second. Now it's man on third, infield in, and one out right here, trying to do the same thing.
Rare two-base wild pitch. And the second time an Astro has made it to third. Infield comes in now. Downs waiting for the 1-1 pitch. And that one stopped by Torrealba. 2 balls and a strike.
I think that's what Torrey was wanting to do with that last pitch that got away from him. There's not much that gets by him, that's for sure.
1 for 16 in these situations this year for Matt Downs. Here's the 2-1. A little looper that will fall just beyond the infield dirt and bring Jason Castro home and give the Astros a 1-0 lead. Well, as little contact as you can make and still get it out of the infield.
That's a proverbial lob wedge from about 30 yards. Watch this ball stop. Tiger Woods be lucky to do this today. Chip one to the green and make it stop like that. Pretty nice.
Texas League blooper.
That's about as soft as you can hit one in the air to the outfield and get it to the grass anyway.
So the first walk of the day for Colby Lewis ends up scoring and headed for second. The throw not in time. Downs in there with a stolen base.
The runs come in many different ways, but that's a unique way. A walk from Colby Lewis, which happens once every 9 innings, a 2-pitch wild pitch, and a blooper that almost stopped the minute it hit the ground.
Great look at Downs ahead of the tag, barely hanging on to the bag. So he's in scoring position. And an 0-1 count to Brian Bixler. 0-2. Brian Bixler called up June 8th. So 313 since then. This is 6th start at 4 different positions. He's played second, third, left, and right. Boy, ominous clouds rolling in. The storm's just west of here. And down goes Bixler for out number 2, strikeout number 8.
Mac, while you're here, I got to read you the business card that the guy sent me. There's that slider. We've seen that a number of times today. This is from Pepper Wells from Waxahachie. Invited me golfing. Here's his business card. No title, no office, no routine, no money, no business, no ambition, no credit, no ulcer. Please join me for a round of golf.
That's pretty good.
He's retired.
That's nice.
Guess that's what we're all looking forward to retirement for someday.
Oh.
Here's Jordan Schaefer, who has struck out and popped up 0 for 2. I wondered where there had to be a punch line to that card. I kept wondering where the kicker is.
I've got a little bit of ambition. Do have a routine, don't have an office.
Diving out in right field is Snyder, and he comes up with the 3rd out. New to the position, but turns in the defensive play of the afternoon so far for the Rangers. the Texas Lottery has landed, and the current estimated annuitized jackpot is $50 million. Play today because Powerball has changed for the bigger. Brandon Snyder getting well-deserved congratulations for that run-saving catch on his dive out in right field.
Yeah, hasn't had a lot of experience in the outfield, but he's worked hard at it with Gary Pettis, gotten better and better to the point where he can make that nice play.
So that keeps it a 1-0 Astro lead. And then the Rangers fifth, 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Andrus, Young, and Beltre. Elvis is grounded out, singled, and was in the back end of the double steal in the third. Major League debut by Dallas Keuchel. One day after Justin Grimm in the same situation for the Rangers. Keuchel in this game looks way better than his numbers at AAA this year would indicate.
Yeah, and I think part of it is that, the Rangers really haven't seen him. Anytime you face a pitcher for the first time, I've always said it's usually one or the other that's going to happen. One, you're going to crush him, or two, he's going to hold you down a little bit. So I think that's what's going on now until I think the Rangers have seen him a few times. So I think they might start opening things up. At least that's the way it's gone these last few games with him.
Let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio for a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's Rick Runner.
Hey guys, Roy Oswalt will make his 4th minor league start tonight in Round Rock, expected to throw 100 pitches against the Corpus Christi Hooks. We'll update you on the postgame show with how great Justin Grimm pitched in his debut. Ron Washington has options, guys.
Yeah, could be a nice problem to have. Corpus Christi, the AA affiliate of these Houston Astros. Michael Young, first ball hitting, fouls that back. He has walked both times today. 2 of the 4 walks issued by Keuchel. And Fernando Rodriguez now up. Keuchel at 85 pitches. But has allowed only 3 base hits. One of them an infield single by Gentry. Up the middle, stabbed by Keuchel. There's the second out. The other 2 Ranger hits both came with 2 outs in the third. They were by Keuchel and Andrews. Michaels walk loaded the bases. Biggest at bat to that point of the game for the Rangers, and Beltre plied to center. And then they loaded into the 4th, and Kinsler popped up to the first baseman Downs. So there have been opportunities there, but the Rangers have left 7 men on.
Keuchel had 4 starts in the minor leagues out of 13 where he didn't give up a run. First 2 starts were like that, then the other 2 were sprinkled in between. So there were 4 times where possibly he had the same assortment of pitches and command of them, where he kept his fastball down, kept the ball away from a good hitter's zone.
This one is launched high and deep, left center field, and at the wall, Schaefer is there for out number 3. So the Rangers go in order. Mark McLemore, thanks. Look forward to Rangers 5. Summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday, July 10th, 6:30 Central, only on Fox. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve with clouds covering Rangers ballpark, and the smell of rain in the air at the moment, if not the actual raindrops. As we move into the 6th inning, that is what is creeping our way. We understand there are already showers to the west of the ballpark. Altuve pops this one foul. It's 0-2. Hosea struck out and grounded to third. Astros have had a couple of scoring chances. They took advantage of theirs. The only walk issued by Colby Lewis was to Castro in the 5th. Took third on a wild pitch that Torrealba couldn't find, and then Downs singled him home on a little blooper. Altuve, strikeout victim number 9 for Lewis. Here is Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Look who we have here. It's Steve Hatchell. He's the president of the College Football Foundation. You guys announced the College Football Hall of Fame about a month and a half ago, and some surprising candidates that got in. Really well-deserved, and we're talking about R.C. Slocum and Jimmy Johnson.
Well, we got some that have great Texas ties. R.C. Slocum, wonderful coach at Texas A&M. Jimmy Johnson, who was at Oklahoma State and Miami, but he's from Texas initially. 2 great players, Tommy Kramer, a wonderful quarterback at Rice, and then Gabe Rivera from Texas Tech, who a lot of people called him Senior Sack. He was so good and was unstoppable, frankly, at Texas Tech. So it's great, and we got other ties like Ty Detmer, who went to BYU, but he's from San Antonio, and so we've got a lot of Texas ties in going into the Hall of Fame this year. It's a lot of fun.
When will the ceremonies take place, Steve?
It's December the 4th at the Waldorf Astoria. It's the second oldest dinner that the Waldorf has had, and we've been there since 1952, and it's just a great time to celebrate college football.
There you go, Steve. Good seeing you. Keep up the great work. Appreciate it. Thank you. Dave?
Yeah, the National Football Foundation, they do great work promoting, celebrating college football, providing scholarship money and whatnot. The keepers of the Hall of Fame as well, based in Las Colinas. 2 outs. Here's Carlos Lee, the DH. First game off the disabled list, has singled and struck out looking. Into center field. And Craig Gentry completing a quick 7-pitch all-strike. 1-2-3 6th inning. Brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot is worth $400 and dinner for 2 at a Sonic drive-in. And today the Rangers are hitting for Tony Pelayo from Sassy. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Tony Pelayo wins $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurants. And it'll be Cruz, Napoli, and Snyder in the Rangers 6th. Nelly is grounded to short and fly to center. Pitch number 89 for Dallas Keuchel in his major league debut. Just added to the roster today up from AAA Oklahoma City, and he has allowed only 3 hits. Twice has left the bases full of Rangers. Big at bat yesterday for Cruz. 3-run homer to the back of the visitors' bullpen. As the Rangers put a 5 spot on the board that inning, and he drives a base hit to right center field to start this inning.
That's kind of what it's all about right there, is waiting on the ball and not trying to pull it. There's been a number of outs made where the hitter's been way out in front of a ball and popped up to the outfield, but Nelly does a nice job of waiting that time, just drilling that ball into right center field. Get the feeling it's just a matter of time, and I think the Astros are feeling the same way. Going to make a pitching change. It looks like Brad Mills is walking slowly to the mound.
Well, Fernando Rodriguez got up again out in their bullpen. Keuchel at 91 pitches, 53 strikes, 38 balls. He has allowed 4 base hits as well as 4 walks. But the Rangers probably not that disappointed to see him leave, because they were not able to dent the scoreboard while the 24-year-old from Tulsa was in there. And Fernando Rodriguez will come in and face Napoli when we return. Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Well, Dallas Keuchel is gone after 5 innings and 1 batter, and he gives way to Fernando Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez 1-6 on the season. Pretty good job by Dallas Keuchel in his big league debut. Got through 5 innings without giving up a run, although he had a couple of bases loaded jams that he pitched out of in the 3rd and 4th. Rangers do have the leadoff man on, though. That is his run.
that is Cruz after his base hit to right center field. The one-loss record pretty unsightly for Rodriguez, no way around that, but he has stranded all 16 of his inherited runners this season, and that is the most stranded runners in the majors of any pitcher not to allow an inherited runner to score so far this year. First pitch to Mike, way wide. Napoli is grounded to short and walked today. And not sure if he knows where he is. He is about to stroll across the third baseline. He's obviously still in harm's way. Now making his way toward Dave Anderson. Big cut and the miss, 1-1.
There's the center square pitch, but he had a little velocity on it. Snuck it by Mike.
Rodriguez close to a strikeout per inning. 24 strikeouts, 25 in the third innings this year. Blocked nicely by Castro.
Very nice. That ball bounced a long way out in front of him. He almost has to stay up in his crouch so it hits his chest and stays in front of him. If he goes down on both knees, it might have bounced right over his shoulder.
That one misses as well. Tomorrow he will turn 28. Out of Franklin High School in El Paso.
Rangers have a lot of left-hand hitters on the bench. That's why Brad Mills has a lefty warming up in the bullpen. In case Ron Washington decides to go to a left-handed pinch hitter.
Xavier Cedeno now warming into the bullpen, and here's our Brown hand center great hands of the game. Brandon Snyder, new to the position, right field, comes in racing and robs Jordan Schaefer of extra bases. And what definitely would have turned into the second Astro run that inning. At the plate, Snyder the only man to strike out against Dallas Keuchel, and he struck out both times he faced him today.
Astros expecting the bunt right here. They're way in at first and third.
Downs charging as that ball is delivered, and it is a fair ball. Keuchler's throw to the second baseman Altuve. What a successful sacrifice by Snyder. The Rangers have the tying run at third and the go-ahead run in scoring position.
That pretty much is the definition of what you do with first and third and no wheel play on. Bunt it right straight to the third baseman. You can't get the force at third. There's no one covering second. Only play is to first, and you get the sacrifice. There's the look of the defense. The second baseman's got to go cover first. The shortstop has to hold his ground just in case he doesn't bunt. Third baseman fields it and throws to first.
So an opportunity here to finally cash in. Third good scoring opportunity for the Rangers today. Torrealba has flied to left and walked.
First time the Rangers have had a man at third with less than 2 outs, so they can score in a number of different ways.
Right through the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 1-0 games. This one, and in Anaheim, and in the top of the 5th inning, the Angels leading Arizona 1-0 on an Albert Pujols home run in the 4th, his 10th of the year. Strike at the knees, and it's 1-2.
Well, they won 2-0 yesterday on a 2-run homer in the first inning by Mark Trumbo. Got a lot of big hits for them this year.
Runners in scoring position today. The Rangers 1 for 3. The hit was Gentry's infield hit to load the bases in the fourth, but then Kinsler fouled out or popped up barely into fair territory to Downs to end that threat. The 1-2. Right to the first baseman, Downs. Hard hit, but an attaboy for out number 2.
Center fielder, Gentry.
Waits on the breaking ball. Makes some pretty solid contact. Not much luck with where you hit the ball, though.
So it brings up Gentry, who had that infield hit we just mentioned. First time up fly to left. More playing time Craig Gentry gets, the better he plays. This is his 8th start out of the last 12 games, and he has hit .500 in those games. 13 out of 26. Started today at .346. Which is the best average of anybody in Ron Washington's lineup today. Josh Hamilton dropping to .330. It would be the best even if Josh were available, which the Rangers hope he will be tomorrow night in San Diego. First 2 Rangers reached here in the 6th. Cruz a single, Napoli a walk, both sacrificed to second and third. That one low, 2 balls and no strikes. Other games involving the division, the Padres got a run in the top of the 3rd at Oakland. They lead 1-0, bottom of the 3rd. San Francisco and Seattle are 1-1 in the top of the 3rd. Taken just outside. Gentry runs the count to 3-0. We're almost completely under cloud cover right now. Still a definite smell of rain in the area. Blue sky receding out past left field. As Gentry takes all the way, ball 4 to load the bases again for Ian Kinsler. He'll have the same opportunity he had in the 4th inning. In the Sonic Slam inning.
3rd time in 4 innings that the Rangers had the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Ian today has grounded to second, singled, and popped up to the first baseman Downs. Ball that looked as if Kinsler thought was going to go foul. It didn't. He stayed pretty much in the batter's box after that frustrating 3rd out in the 4th, with a chance to make up for it here. And right after the first pitch, foul back. Old school, old style National League game. Both teams have combined for only 7 base hits. The Rangers 4, the Astros 3. Astros scratched out their run in the 5th. Rangers try to answer here. 1-1. Rodriguez, former Angel, for all of 1 appearance, 2/3 of an inning in 2009. From their organization to the Astros last year, most of which he spent with Houston. Here's the 1-1. Up around the fist, foul back again, and Rodriguez a strike away from wriggling off this particular hook. Fernando walked the first batter he faced, Napoli. 3 batters later, he walked Gentry. But he's up on Ian, a ball and 2 strikes. Popped up. Castro back for a look, but it is just over the screen. Ian remains alive. Fernando Rodriguez's first 18 pitches, only 8 have been strikes. Cruz leading off of third, Napoli off second, Gentry at first with 2 outs. One-two pitch, driven into the gap in left center field, headed to the wall. Cruz scores, Napoli scores, Gentry comes home. It is a bases clearing triple for Ian Kinsler. The Rangers lead it 3-1.
Every game has gone pretty much the same way. Rangers shut down for a while, and all of a sudden the big inning. And all it took was one hanger right there by Rodriguez. He's throwing the ball pretty well, throwing 93 miles an hour. Tries his breaking ball and puts it right in the center of the plate. Ian gets the bat on it, drives it into the gap for a huge hit. That's the old hanger at the wrong time.
And dugout ready to explode. Finally a big hit. And Ian Kinsler safe at third. Safe and secure. New York life. Pitching coach Doug Keuchel out on the mound for a visit. RBIs 33, 34, and 35 for Kinsler. One pitch wipes out all that good work by Dallas Keuchel in his major league debut today. He is charged with the first of these 3 runs. That was Cruz, who led the inning with a single. That led to Fernando Rodriguez. So the final line on Dallas Keuchel today went 5 innings plus 1 batter. 1 run on 4 hits. He walked 4, struck out 2. Through 91 pitches, 53 for strikes. Tying and go-ahead runs scoring in this inning. Go-ahead runs charged to Rodriguez. Both of his walks came around to score on that drive by Ian. Out behind Andrews 2-0. This will be the 22nd pitch for Rodriguez. And he drops in the slow curve for a strike. Elvis 1 for 3 today. That's out of play, and it's 2-2. So the Astros with action again out in their bullpen. Right-hander David Carpenter. The 2-2 pitch just fouled at the plate. Yeah, that one off of Dale Scott. The home plate umpire is going to take a moment or 2 here. Gives Castro a chance to go out and check over things with Rodriguez. Very unfortunate carom that time for Dale Scott.
Yeah, generally the umpire would be going out to tell the catcher to break it up. Catcher's out there just to let the umpire have a breather.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes it remains. Michael Young would be next. Andrews, the 7th Ranger to bat here in the 6th.
You know, 43,000 or 4,000 people, Dave, have to be happy that the sun's not out right now. It's a lot more comfortable to watch the game.
The temperatures dropped. It was 90 when we started, now showing 87.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't rain. But in the meantime, there was a scorcher when the game started. It's pretty nice right now. A lot of fathers out here on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. A lot of dads hoping that their little girls and little boys grow up to be baseball fans. Not necessarily players, but at least fans that love to come out to the ballpark.
That's outside. And a walk to Elvis will bring up Michael Young. It will also bring Brad Mills out to get Fernando Rodriguez. Well, he faced 6 batters. He walked 2 of them. Gave up a 3-run triple to Kinsler to completely turn this game around. And out of his 26 pitches, he only got 12 strikes. So David Carpenter will make his way in. The Rangers with a big inning, hoping they can continue this bottom of the 6th. Rangers history. And on June 17th of 1993, Juan Gonzalez became the first Ranger to have 8 runs batted in a game. So the Rangers won out in Anaheim over the Angels 18-2. Well, Cruz has this year matched that total. Here's David Carpenter, their 3rd pitcher of the afternoon.
Well, Rodriguez was really hurt by the walks. He walked 3, 2 of them scored. The walks and the hanging curveball that he served up to Ian Kinsler. Rangers for the 3rd straight game have a big inning that has kind of broke the game open for him, although it's still only a 2-run ball game.
And the look to third of in first move. Michael today has walked twice and bounced to the mound. Carpenter, 26, from Morgantown, West Virginia. Came over from the Cardinals in the Pedro Feliz trade a couple of years ago. Kinsler at 3rd, Andrews at 1st with 2 outs. And down at 1st, and Iasonia says Michael didn't go. Keuchel walked 4 in his 5 innings. Rodriguez walked 3 in 2/3 of an inning. First 2 of which have scored. 1-1 to Michael. Ron Washington giving Michael a chance to play 3rd today. Day game after a night game. Beltre is the DH, the so-called half day off. Michael's 12th start of the year at 3rd base. And at 1st for 10 games, 2nd base 7 times. The rest is a DH. And with Elvis off and running, that one's foul back. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Right off the shoulder of Jason Castro. He gets a moment or 2 here. He and Dale Scott both taking a bit of a beating in this inning. Young is the 8th man to bat. Elvis takes off again on a foul ball.
Now they're going to let Elvis have the bag. They're not going to vacate 2nd or short and open up a hole that a ground ball could sneak through. Lowry, Altuve just maintained their position. Not quite indifference because Elvis is being held at first base.
Underneath, Downs into right field, base hit Young. Kinsler comes home. It's 4-1 Rangers. And Andrus keeps running all the way home.
Just a good measure. Dave Anderson takes advantage of the defense and sneaks in another run. Dave's an excellent third base coach. And let's watch what happens. Michael hits the high fastball just barely by downs into right field. Men on first and third. Elvis goes to third. The right fielder, Bogusevic, picks the ball up, knows Elvis is at third. He lobs the ball into second, and Elvis just keeps right on going as they steal an extra run. And for the third game in a row, the Rangers have a 5-run inning.
Michael Young, a 2-run single.
Yeah, technically, I guess that is a 2-run single.
I can't remember seeing that happen.
You know, Elvis, I couldn't tell if he was stopped. He might have slowed down a little bit, but he just kept right on going. And technically, there's no error. I guess that is a 2-run single. See if they score it that way.
Yeah, there you already have. Here's a deep drive, left field, way back, and gone. Adrian Beltre goes deep and breaks this one wide open.
It's been the exact same way for 3 straight days. It's almost like you're thinking, okay, the Rangers are shut down, but it's just a matter of time. And when they bust through in a big way.
That is worth $400 and dinner for 2 at a Sonic Drive-In for Tony Pelayo from Saxe. Congratulations, Tony. 7 runs in the 6th inning against 3 different Astro pitchers.
Beltre just missed a home run his last time up. Schaefer caught it right at the wall in front of the bullpen.
Ian Maxwell looking up. Nothing they could do about that one. Home run number 11 for Adrian Beltre. And the man who started this 6th inning, Cruz, with a single, back up again. That's another $20,000 raised to support prostate cancer research, part of our home run challenge. You can make a pledge by calling 800-798-CURE or go online to pcf.org. For Beltre, home run number 11 is 42nd and 43rd RBIs of the year. What was a 1-0 game? Now a 7-1 game. Looks like Beltre doesn't even mind getting his head touched after a blast like that.
Rangers have scored 5 runs or more in an inning, more than any other team in baseball. That's the 9th time they've done it.
And a walk to Nelson Cruz keeps the inning alive. That is the 4th walk this inning. First of these runs charged to Keuchel. The next 4 to Rodriguez. And on the home run, Carpenter charged with 2. So he's faced 3 batters, 2-run single by Young, 2-run homer by Beltre, and the walk to Cruz. Here's Napoli, who walked. It's the first man Fernando Rodriguez faced. He's also grounded to short. And another walk in the 4th inning for Mike.
You love the base running by Elvis, too. It'd be easy just to trot into third base. But he sprinted into third base, and Dave Anderson just kept waving, and the throw came into second, and he scored easy. Picked up Michael an extra RBI. Elvis, great instincts on the bases, though.
And the irony is Bogusevic has a cannon of an arm. He didn't even consider the possibility of Elvis going home.
No, he's just in shallow right field. He lobbed the ball in because he thought Elvis was going to stop.
Look at it again. First holding him up, then he pointed and said, hey, you can go on home.
Yep.
Might as well.
Dave wasn't anticipating that throw either.
He reacted as soon as he saw it. Elvis coming all the way around. 7-1 game. The Rangers taking advantage of walks, but also coming up with a string of big hits. And Napoli goes down swinging, but the Rangers put up 7 runs. The big blow. The bases loaded triple by Ian Kinsler. And we go to the 7th. Rangers 7, the Astros 1. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Want to break up with a vehicle that's breaking down? Then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, you can try Jack's Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for only $4.99 plus tax. Oh, a total turnaround in this game, and Ian Kinsler really personifying the bad and the good today, as the first pitch of the 7th inning to Bogusevic popped out to left field, and that is David Murphy now in the game in left field. Cruz has moved over to right.
Kobe Lewis has only had 3 runs or more of support a handful of times this year, so he's the beneficiary of the big 7-run inning. Appreciates it. Had that complete game in Oakland where he only gave up 2 runs and lost 2 starts ago.
th time this year the Rangers have had an inning of 5 or more runs.
Is it 15? Wow.
Justin Maxwell has struck out both times. And that one misses. First 5 innings of frustration for the Rangers. Not cash again a couple times, the bases loaded. But the dam burst in the bottom of the 6th. One of those runs charged to the starter Keuchel, 4 to Rodriguez, and the last 2 to David Carpenter. High in the air, right center field, and there is Craig Gentry for out number 2.
Yeah, you go back a little ways when the Rangers had 7 relievers, and there was a stretch there where you wondered how the Rangers were going to have enough relief pitching, as much as Ron Washington had to use the bullpen. Now they've only got 6 guys out in the bullpen, 5 extra players, position players, and there's not enough work for everybody out there the way the starting pitching is going lately. Kobe's at 88 pitches, 2 outs in the 7th inning. He's working on 2 straight complete games. The rest of the starters have pitched well into the games too.
Strike 1 to Castro, who was struck out. Walked, and he scored their run. He walked with 1 out in the 5th. On a wild pitch, was able to run all the way to 3rd, and then down singled him home. A little blooper. The infield drawn in. Barely touched the grass in shallowest right field. Lewis has allowed only 4 base runners all day. Lee and Bogusevic both singled to start the 2nd. Lewis then struck out 2, got a fielder's choice grounder. Get off that hook.
Scoring change, Dave. One of the RBIs comes off from Michael Young, and Elvis scores on a fielder's choice. I think the key was that he had made up his mind to stop at 3rd base and decided to go on the throw that went into 2nd.
Big cut and a miss. Castro strikes out. And the Astros go in order, which brings us up to stretch time. And on this Father's Day, this Sunday afternoon, time for God Bless America.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as we pause to honor the men and women of our armed services both at home and around the world. Today, we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with Tech Sergeant Shonda Winkler of the Air National Guard Band of the Gulf Coast.
America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the lights from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Hyundai. If it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. Well, the rains have stayed away. Threatening skies, but they have not opened up, at least as of yet, above the ballpark. As Brandon Lyon comes on as the fourth Astro pitcher of the afternoon. Lyon unscored on 18 of his last 22 appearances, dating back to April 16th. His ERA in that span just 2.01. 9.5 strikeouts per 9 innings for Brandon Lyon. And first up is David Murphy, who replaced Snyder in the batting order. He came into left field, and Nelly Cruz moved from left to right.
Yeah, the Rangers have scored early enough in these 3 games where the Astros really haven't been able to get to Lyon.
Driven hard, but foul.
Be careful.
David following Snyder, who struck out his first 2 times up and then delivered an excellent sacrifice bunt to help get that 6th inning jump started. Murphy does it again, same area. After Keuchel gave up a leadoff single to Cruz in the 6th and was replaced by Rodriguez, Fernando 2/3 of an inning, 4 runs on a hit and 3 walks. Carpenter 1/3 as Murphy goes down swinging, and Carpenter charged for 2 runs on 2 base hits and a walk. Check in with Dana Larson.
Dave, Rangers starter Derek Holland is on the disabled list and just beginning a throwing program as he works his way back. So who better to play catch with on Father's Day than your own dad? His father, Rick, in town today, and here at the ballpark this morning, it was like old times for father and son.
I brought him down for Father's Day, obviously. I want to get him out and, show him some appreciation for what he's done and everything. And it all started with, I got him a glove, stitched with his name on it and everything, and the Father's Day patches on it. And then also we went out and played some catch. We were talking about, we played catch since high school for me. So, and then took him back into the cages and let him swing it. Need some improvements. We'll have to get a cool ball on that.
Scott Coolbaugh, the hitting coach, may just get in on that a little bit. Obviously, Derek Holland, a funny line, never far away for him. He says his dad is very funny, too, but just not as inclined to be so in front of the cameras and the microphones. By the way, Derek Holland says he's doing better, regaining his strength, and is set to join the team and travel to San Diego.
All right, Dana. As Yorvi Torrealba at the plate. Well, Tom, you were in that position. You got to play catch with a future major leaguer. Son down.
Yeah, I did. That was a huge part of his childhood and my son Tim's childhood. I found that neither one of the boys would open up about much about what was going on in their lives, what they were doing in school, who their friends were, unless we were playing catch. And while we were playing catch, I could ask them pretty much anything I wanted, and they would open up, and I just keep playing catch till I had all my questions answered.
Great strategy.
Yeah.
Base hit on the 3-1 pitch. Torrealba hammers that out to left field.
You don't have to grow up to be a player. You don't even have to play to learn how to play catch. Baseball is the national pastime, and whether it's a father with his son or his daughter, or a mother with a father with a son or a daughter, just learning how to play catch is kind of part of the experience, and it gives you appreciation for the game. And I know when my father used to play catch with me, he wasn't a player himself, but he at the time would tell me all about his favorite players, Warren Spahn and Lou Burdett, and Hank Aaron. He was a Braves fan, so I became a Yankee fan, and we played catch almost every day of the summertime. And I liked just as much as playing catch and learning how to throw, listening to him tell his stories about the big leagues and about baseball. He was such a fan of the game, and I'm sure that that's one of the reasons why I became such a fan of the game as well, listening to him tell his stories.
Well, think of the movie Field of Dreams, maybe the best sports movie of all time, and centered around the meaning of having a catch with
Pretty
your
much.
dad.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. I don't know that there's ever been anyone that's played catch with their father who saw that movie that didn't have a tear in his eye or her eye.
A big day for the Hollands here. Gentry has flied out, reached on an infield hit, and walked. 2 balls and a strike. Derek's parents really behind him before anybody else had figured out that he was going to be a terrific pitcher. They had the expense to send him to a junior college tryout camp, basically, in Arizona. Got him noticed by Wallace State Community College in Alabama. He developed there, and here he is in the Rangers rotation. Long run out and right. Bogusevic can't get there. Torrealba had to wait to make sure he didn't, but he still makes second base on a dash and a slide.
Yeah, well, you're at that stage of Derek's career, Dave. There weren't too many people that thought he could become a big league pitcher, so it probably did take the faith of his parents. And who knows, they might not have been thinking he was going to have a stellar big league career. They just wanted him to have a chance to extend the playing career that he had from high school into junior college or college. You never know at that stage how much a teenager is going to grow, how much he's going to gain velocity with his fastball, pitches he might learn. So you never really know then. But if you can extend your playing time and get to college, get to junior college, at least you have a chance for it to happen. Who knows how many kids there have been who haven't had that same opportunity after high school, who then grew a few inches, put on a few pounds, and might have become big league players. You never know unless you're out there playing.
Kinsler drives one to right. Back goes Bogusevic. And Torrealba will take third on the long second out. So first and third now with 2 outs for Elvis Andrus. Elvis has singled, stolen a base, walked, and scored.
You know, every year in the draft, there's probably multiple college players. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but at least one and sometimes more college players drafted in the first round who weren't even drafted out of high school, who, you know, were decent high school players, went on to college, got bigger, stronger, and better, and all of a sudden 2 or 3 years later they're #1 draft choices. That's not rare at all.
All any draft is a snapshot of where people are at that point.
Sure.
And it's a matter of the art, really, isn't it? Is projecting this body type or that speed or this arm strength could improve.
It's not that easy for scouts because you just don't know. It's hard to predict growth and how much stronger kids will be.
And desire. Who's going to have the flame burning enough to do all the work that it's going to take to reach your potential? That's part of the read too, isn't it? The
Sure.
personality.
Yeah, no doubt.
One ball, 1 strike to Elvis. Torrealba at third, Gentry at first. Brandon Lyon trying to end this inning here. Next up would be Michael Young.
And for the college players drafted in the first round, there are a number of them who were never drafted, but almost every one of them that wasn't drafted was drafted in the later rounds. 20th round, 30th round out of high school. Scouts liked them, they just weren't sure.
Elvis hammers one through the hole. A base hit. The score, Torrealba, and it is 8-1.
The scouts, what they're saying is, say you've got a high school kid who's 6'1" and 150 pounds, and he throws 86 miles an hour. It's hard to go. There's another hanging curveball for Elvis. It's hard to go out on a limb and take that kid high because you're not exactly sure what's going to happen. But what a scout is saying is, you know, I've seen this. I've sat with his father at a game, and his father's 6'4". So chances are he's got a chance to grow a little and get a little bit stronger. I love his delivery. Love to see him throw a little harder than 86. So I'm not going to draft him high. We can't make a huge investment in him, but we'd love to have him in our system just to see if he does develop. Well, that college kid says thanks for the opportunity, but based on that, I'm going to college. He goes to college, he grows 2 or 3 inches, he adds 6 or 7 miles an hour to his fastball, and all of a sudden he's a #1 draft choice. Well, the scout in the first place was right, but you just don't have any guarantees, because for every kid that happens to, there's a number of kids that go to college, don't get bigger, don't get stronger, stay nice little players, but don't have the professional potential. That's why when you're drafting high school kids, it's so much different than other sports, where at least you get to see the kids play till they're 20 or 21 years old, 22 years old. Football players get redshirted. You have a much better idea who they are.
Out to right field and put away by Bogusevic, but the Rangers get another run on 3 base hits. They leave 2. We head to the 8th. It's 8-1 Texas. And the 3rd straight outstanding start for Colby Lewis. 7 innings, 1 run on 3 hits. The only walk he issued became the only Astro run. And he struck out 10. His 10th career outing of 10 or more strikeouts. That's 5th most in Rangers history.
Well, it was just another outstanding effort. Colby, I'm sure, could have gone deeper into that game, but Ron Washington said, nice job. Hot day, you pitch 7 innings. Don't have to stretch out to 120 pitches with a 7-run lead. Give Tanner Scheppers an opportunity. And I don't consider it a mop-up role when you're pitching in a game that your team leads. You know, a lot of times young pitchers will get chances when you're down 6-1 or 5-1, but hey, it's 8-1. There's only 2 innings to go, but it's a lead. You still have to go out there and protect it.
Scheppers, former first rounder out of Fresno State University, made his major league debut with the Rangers last week of a trip to the Bay Area. And being a California native, had to come up with some extra tickets, but he said the real crush is going to be this next 3-game series at San Diego, because that is his home area. And he was already getting the ticket requests as soon as friends and family saw that he was called up last week. So his 4th outing Thursday against the Diamondbacks, his home debut, allowed 1 inherited runner to score, plus gave up a 3-run homer to Gerardo Parra of the Diamondbacks. But that was only his 3rd major league appearance. Downs today, singled in the only Astro run. Pops this one up, foul territory. And in front of the Ranger dugout, comes down to Torrealba. Let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, time for the progressive fan of the game on this Father's Day. And with that, I'm going to let my man Connor help me out. What about it, Connor?
Thanks, Jim. Well, this Father's Day, we decided to take my dad out to the game. He's been a lifetime Ranger fan, and he's raised me up right to be a Ranger fan. And I just want to present the Ranger fan of the game to my dad. I love you, Dad.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, congratulations. The Roberts family out strong here. They got the wife, 2 sons and his daughter. Congratulations. Happy Father's Day. Way to go, Connor. Good job.
Thank you.
Dave?
All right, Jim. Lots of folks enjoying Father's Day here at the ballpark. Sold out today for the 20th time this year. 46,320. Next sellout will tie the franchise record of 21 capacity houses in the first season the ballpark was in business, 1994. 1-1 to Brian Bixler. The third baseman is grounded to third and struck out.
Got an email question from a fan, Dave.
All right. That is grounded fair down the left field line and into the corner where it's retrieved by Murphy, and Bixler has a 1-out double here the 8th.
We had said that Damon Buford was the first Ranger to score in an interleague game. The emailer thought that it was Darryl Hamilton. Darryl Hamilton was the first Ranger to get a hit in interleague play. He was a Giant. Damon Buford was the first to score. Sorry about that.
But now we're clear.
Hamilton hit, Buford run.
First ever interleague game played right here, commemorated by a plaque at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. So back to the top of the order, and Jordan Schaefer, who has struck out, popped up and flied out. Schaefer's bringing it mid, occasionally high 90s. This is with 10 strikeouts from Colby Lewis, a club record for the Rangers. 4 straight games with at least 10 strikeouts as a team. The Rangers continue to be a tough team to strike out. They have only been whiffed 3 times today. So Colby Lewis throws 92 pitches, 70 for strikes. And his third consecutive strong outing. Back-to-back complete games, his last 2. 7 rock-solid innings this afternoon. And in line to improve his record to 6-5. Out in Anaheim, Angels got a run in their half of the 7th. It is now 2-0. Angels over the Diamondbacks, who are being 4-hit by Garrett Richards. Pitcher just been called up a couple of weeks ago. That game featuring Albert Pujols' 10th home run of the year. Two balls and 2 strikes to Schaefer. Swung on. And a foul tip. Ruling by Dale Scott. Rangers only once previous to today have been as much as 13 games over 500. They were 31-18 on May 28th. This win would improve them to 40-27. They would, at worst, keep their 4-game margin over the Angels. Into center field, Gentry. Out number 2. And for Jordan Schaefer, with 3 hits yesterday, 0 for 4 this afternoon. It'll bring up Altuve. Rangers fly to San Diego once this one is done. The only stop on this road trip, 3 games at Petco Park. Matt Harrison will get the start tomorrow against Jason Marquis. Telecast at 9 o'clock on Fox Sports Southwest. Same time Tuesday for Scott Feldman against former Ranger Edinson Volquez. Wednesday, Yu Darvish will go for his 9th win. And he will face Anthony Bass. That will be an afternoon game starting at 5:30 Texas time on Fox Sports Southwest on Wednesday. And Harrison tomorrow will try to become a 9-game winner. 2 strikeouts and a ground out today for Altuve. And a base hit to right field. The brakes thrown up by Dave Clark, the third base coach. That's why. He knows the arm of Cruz.
He also knows that the 7-run deficit is going to take a lot more runs to get back in this game. He just wasn't going to take the chance, even with 2 outs. Now he comes up firing, and he just can't risk it.
So he got about a third of the way before he looked up, saw his coach, and retreated. So 2 outs, and now Astros on the corners for Jed Lowry, who has had a quiet day. A strikeout in the last 2 trips he's flied to left. And the runner goes with absolutely no attention paid to Altuve. About as indifferent as your defense can be. Shepard's concentrating on the batter here. There is a logjam atop the American League with 8-game winners. Darvish and Harrison, the only 2 of 6 at 8 wins beginning play today. Also Chris Sale of the White Sox, 2 Yankees, Ivan Nova and CC Sabathia, and David Price of Tampa Bay. And the Harrison the Padres will see is pitching about as well as he ever has in a Ranger uniform. He will take a 16 1/3 inning scoreless streak with him out west. Back out of play, and a ball and 2 strikes to Lowry. Most everybody's still here in the sellout house of 46,320. As threatening as the skies have looked, not one drop has fallen here at the ballpark, knock on wood. Shepard's 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Couple of teams that will be American League West rivals this year. This is the last time they'll face each other as interleague opponents. Intra-division rivals will be the case here on in. The 2-2 just outside, full count.
A little bit outside. Fans didn't like it. 22nd pitch for Tanner this inning.
Bixler leading off third. Altuve off second, and the 3-2 pitch fouled off. Looked low enough. Might have been ball 4, but it came at 97 miles an hour. Rangers already have wrapped up their 6th consecutive silver boot. About to take the season series 5 games to 1 and improve their all-time record over Houston to 42-30. Still a lot of mixed emotions at best in the city of Houston about leaving the National League. But I have a feeling once they get used to the American League, I think they will recognize the difference in styles of play and may well bring more fans to the park, at least for a year or two, just to see the different rivals. Get to see the Yankees come in, the Red Sox and the Rangers, 3 separate occasions. Yeah, fans looking ahead. It will make for a completely different feel to this series. They'll have 3 series up here, 3 series down at Minute Maid Park. And Lowry just does check his swing for ball 4, which loads the bases and gets Mike Maddox headed to the mound. Robbie Ross throwing in the Ranger bullpen. On the final Saturday of the month, the Rangers host the Oakland A's, and Budweiser presents a Reckless Kelly concert after the game. See Texas take on Oakland at 6:15 on June 30th. Then enjoy live Texas country as Reckless Kelly will play on the field. Call 972-RANGERS or go to TexasRangers.com for tickets today. Conference over. Carlos Lee steps in with 2 outs and the bases loaded. He has singled, struck out, and fly to center. Gets that one through the hole, a base hit. Bixler scores, Altuve scores. A 2-run single by Lee. His first game off the DL with a hamstring. He makes it 8-3.
Well, you see if Ron makes a move right here. I think he will, with a left-hander coming up and a left-hander warmed up.
So Wash will take the ball from Sheffers. We've got 2 outs. In between was the Bixler double, but 3 straight Astros reach. On the Altuve single, the walk to Lowry, the 2-run hit by Lee. And that will end the afternoon after 25 pitches for Sheffers and bring in Robbie Ross. Of some of baseball's greatest legends. This week, Yogi Berra is up. Boys in the Hall after the game, presented by Subway restaurants where winners eat. Robbie Ross with some of the best numbers in baseball, rookie or no. 6-0, a 1.26 ERA. 2.11 batting average allowed. And Bogusevic 1 for 3. Goes right after the first pitch.
Now, a lot of lefties are out in the bullpen because they're left-handed specialists. They come in and get a left-hand hitter or 2 out. And you look at Robbie's numbers, 24 appearances in 35 or 36 innings. He's coming in frequently to pitch more than 1 inning. And that's because he can do a lot more than get left-hand hitters out. He can get right-hand hitters out too.
Scoreless string going back to May 11th for Robbie Ross. 11 appearances, 18 2/3 innings. Extended with the scoreless 7th inning yesterday. 1-2. Robbie's ERA tied for the 4th best among all American League relief pitchers. First pitcher with 6 relief wins in as few as his first 23 outings is Ron Davis of the Yankees, 78-79. That's back a ways. The bespectacled, hard-throwing Yankee reliever back then. Bogusevic trying to keep this inning going, make it even more interesting. Pops this one foul, and it will come back. Called strike 3, inside corner. And Ross comes in and puts a quick end to the 8th inning rally. Astros get 2 runs on 3 base hits. They leave 2. And as we discussed, the Rangers, after this is over, fly out to San Diego. And tomorrow at 9 o'clock on Fox Sports Southwest, first of that 3-game series, Matt Harrison going for his 9th win. Jason Marquis with a 1-1 record and a 1.46 ERA in his limited time so far with the Padres. Xavier Cedeno, 5th Astro pitcher of the day, on to work the bottom of the 8th. 25-year-old from Puerto Rico. Astros signed him to a minor league contract after being that happened 2 years ago. He was a 31st round pick by Colorado in the 2004 draft. And he's got Beltre, Cruz, and Napoli here in the Ranger 8th. Adrian Beltre and Ian Kinsler had the big blows in the Rangers' 7-run 6th inning. Kinsler a 3-run triple. Beltre a 2-run homer. Number 11 on the year. He just tacked on a run in the 7th against Brandon Lyon. Run on 3 hits. RBI coming from Andrews. And a strike at the knees. 1-1. Ground ball up the middle and another base hit for Beltre. He's 2 for 5.
Well, he's pretty much on a streak of getting 2 hits every game now.
Rangers Live will follow as always. Rick Renner with a preview.
Yeah, guys, we got a fantastic Father's Day edition of Rangers Live coming up. We'll update you on the Wizard Roy Oswalt and how he's doing in Round Rock, plus Dana Larson with all the interviews in the clubhouse. And proud Papa Mark McLemore will be right here to give you all the fun. Back over to you guys.
Does sound like fun. It's got to be if it involves Mac. And we'll follow the game. Meantime, here's Nelly Cruz, who was grounded out, flied out, singled and walked. He scored after the walk. First batter faced by Fernando Rodriguez in the 6th. And that one bounces away from Castro, and Beltre will trot down to second. It is a wild pitch charged to Cedeno. Xavier Cedeno. Been a long man out of their bullpen. 4 days ago, worked 3 innings at San Francisco. He had been with Oklahoma City until May 27th. They called him up when Fernando Abad went on the disabled list. Just misses there. 2 balls and a strike. The Astros starter, 24-year-old Dallas Keuchel in his major league debut. Very strong until the 6th inning. He went 5 innings. And then Cruz singled leading off the 6th. That was it for Keuchel. Charged with only the first Ranger run. 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, and he walked 4. That one well back in the seats. Full count. After Keuchel, Rodriguez, 2/3 of an inning, 4 runs on a hit and 3 walks. David Carpenter allowed 2 hits and a walk and 2 runs in his 1/3 of an inning to put a bow around the Rangers' 6th. And then Lyon the run on 3 hits in the 7th. There's a 3-2 pitch, and Cruz goes down swinging. Nelly 1 for 4. And now Mike Napoli, who was grounded out, walked twice, scored after the second walk, and last time up he struck out. That ended that 6th inning rally. Rangers today going for their 4th series sweep of the season. And they will need to finish this victory to stay 4 games up on the Angels, who have beaten Arizona today 2-0.
Every game in that series was a shutout. Arizona shut them out in the first game 5-0. Then 2 2-0 shutouts after that for the Angels.
Garrett Richards got the win. Now 2-0, 0.86 ERA. He's just been up with them a couple of weeks. Ernesto Frieri got his 7th save. Combined 4-hitter for those two. Ian Kennedy, the loser, falls to 5 and 7. Pujols at his 10th home run. That was in the 4th, and it was the only run Richards would need. So the Angels with that win now 36 and 31. Rangers trying to get to 40 and 27. Napoli waves the high fastball, 2-2. Outside for a full count. This homestand, not a long one, but a successful one, as the Rangers win back-to-back series. This would be their 6th win in the last 7 games. And Napoli takes ball 4. And walks for the 3rd time today. So with 1 out, Beltre at second. Now Napoli at first. And David Murphy will be the batter.
That's the 9th walk the Astros have given today. Rodriguez walked 3 in 2/3 of an inning. All 3 of them scored.
First pitch in there on the outside edge to David. This would give the Rangers the best home record in the American League. It would be 20 and 12 here at the ballpark. They were tied with the Yankees, who are 19 and 12. The Yankees won today, but on the road 4-1 at Washington.
Cedeno is a slow worker.
Slow worker without much control at the moment. 18 pitches, only 8 strikes.
18 pitches and 1 out.
Off the glove of Lowry. Boy, almost a nifty backhand pick of that drive.
That was a rope.
Well, the base hit loads the bases. And that will bring up Yorvi Torrealba.
That would have been a beautiful play if he's able to make it, but about all he can do on that ball is what he tried to do there. Backhand it and hope you can come up with it. That's why he goes right off the top of his glove, but that's a smash by
So here's Torrealba, who was flied to left, walked, lined to first, and singled. That was off line and came around to score the run of the 7th inning. Chopped to short. Out at second. Not at first as Torrealba beats the relay. And Beltre beats it home.
That should have been a double play. Lowry just got the ball to Altuve too slow. Torrealba beats it out, picks up an RBI. You got to charge that ball and get rid of it quicker than that. Make a play like that when there's 2 outs since the last out of an inning.
Torrealba runs pretty well for a catcher. Drives in his 8th run of the year. It is 9-3. Napoli now at third. And Gentry, the batter, now with 2 outs. Another chance for Lowry. And out number 3, but the Rangers tack on another run on 2 base hits. They leave 2. We head to the 9th. Want to break up with the vehicle that's breaking down? Then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. Buy Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Buy Hyundai. If it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. And buy the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Some raindrops have finally arrived after most of the game played under threatening skies. Very light rain accompanying Michael Kirkman out to the mound as he comes on after that line against Arizona on Thursday to face Maxwell, Castro, and Downs. Second game for Michael after being called up from Round Rock Tuesday when Alexi Ogando was placed on the DL. And his first pitch outside to Maxwell, who has struck out twice and flied to center. Colby Lewis threw 92 pitches, 70 for strikes. Going the first 7, 1 run, 3 hits, struck out 10, walked 1. Tanner Shepard, 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 3 hits and a walk, charged with 2 runs. Robbie Ross, 1/3. He struck out the only man he faced, Bo Gosevich, to end the 8th. And now Kirkman from Lake City, Florida, on to finish this one up. 9 runs on 12 hits for the Rangers today. No errors, 12 men left on. For Houston, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and they've left 5. Astros had a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning when the Rangers exploded for 7 runs. And a leadoff walk issued by Kirkman to put Maxwell on. And bring up Jason Castro.
Well, with Ogando out, with Uehara out, it's a great opportunity for Tanner Shepard, for Michael Kirkman to come up and begin to establish themselves at the big league level. And they know that. It's just a matter of going out, relaxing, and pitching the way you're capable of pitching. That means throwing strikes.
There's strike 1 to Castro. 2 strikeouts, a walk, and scored their first run in the 5th. Kirkman at AAA Round Rock was 5-1 with a .525 earned run average. He worked 48 innings, allowed 28 earned runs, 48 strikeouts, so he averaged a strikeout an inning, but he also issued 31 walks. Average of 2 per appearance. Used as a starter and a reliever. 8 of those 15 outings he was a starter.
If you walk 2 guys per start, that's not bad. If you walk 2 guys per relief appearance, that's not good.
So Michael going to take a moment here. 6 of his first 8 pitches have missed the strike zone. Center field. Gentry. There's one. We'll bring up Matt Downs, the first baseman, who drove in their first run. His 8th RBI of the season with a single in the 5th. Other than that, a fielder's choice grounder, and last time up fouled out to the catcher Torrealba's first man Sheppers faced in the 8th. So this afternoon, wrapping up the 6-game homestand, but then the short 3-game road trip to San Diego. Here comes Brad Mills.
Here comes 2 of them. But Keuchel's coming out too.
In Dale Scott's face.
Keuchel must have been the one that got kicked out.
Definitely seems to be the most angry. Bill Miller over as the third base umpire to handle Keuchel. Meanwhile, it's Dale Scott talking with the manager Mills.
It looks worse than it is because it crosses the plate right at the level of the strike zone, but it's going down. So where the catcher catches it, it looks a lot lower than it was where it went across where it's measured, which is right across the plate. Borderline pitch. Showed that it could have gone either way, actually touching the strike zone.
So the pitching coach, Doug Keuchel, ejected on strike 1 to Downs. And a pop-up coming down right near second base, and Kinsler squeezes out number 2. Brian Bixler, last chance for the Astros. He's grounded out, struck out, doubled, and scored. Don't forget, after the 3 in San Diego, the Rangers come home for a nice long 10-game homestand. Maxwell the second on indifference. 3 with the Rockies next weekend, followed by 3 with the Tigers, and then 4 with the A's. And that will get us into July. Check swing, 1-1. So Rangers to this point have played 35 road games against 32 at home. They're 20-15 on the road. And about to go 20-12 at home. The best home record in the league. And the second best overall record in the league, with the Yankees winning at Washington. They are 40-25. Game better than what the Rangers record will be. And the Astros and Bixler now down to their final strike. Still sounds like 46,320. That's how many were here. Back in the house again. All 3 of these Lone Star Series matchup sellouts here at the ballpark, trying to help Kirkland bring this one home. to the hole, and Elvis only able to stop it, keep it from going to left, keep Maxwell at third base. Bixler gets his second straight hit.
A playable ball for Elvis. Normally he makes that play. Getting ready to plant and throw, just didn't catch the ball.
Infield hit for Bixler, or an error 6 actually is the call. E6, the error charge to Elvis rather than the infield single. So first and third with 2 outs. Back up to the top of the order, and Jordan Schaefer, who is 0 for 4. He was struck out, popped to short, flied to right and center. And Bixler on indifference goes down to second. So he's in scoring position as well. This will be Kirkman's 18th pitch and his 10th out of the strike zone. Only error of the game, the one just now charged to Elvis. Three balls and no strikes. And Joe Nathan loosening. Just in case. All they need is 1 out. Kirkman having strike zone problems. A 4-pitch walk to Schaefer to load the bases for Altuve. So for Kirkman, the second walk he is issued. You have to give up a base hit, but the bases are loaded. Altuve has struck out twice, grounded out. Last time up, he singled and scored. He takes inside.
21 pitches, 13 balls, 8 strikes.
Way inside, almost hit him. And now waiting for a calming word here, Mike Napoli. Playing first, but probably the type of conference he might have if he were catching.
You know, Michael had made a pitch to get out of the inning. The play wasn't made. You still have to come back and throw strikes.
Low for ball 3. About the same location that got Doug Brocale tossed for arguing. Yep, exactly.
You know, it's a borderline pitch, and you won't get that pitch all the time. Sometimes they go your way, sometimes they don't.
A high strike. Here's the 3-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. So Kirkman has been here before. He had Bixler down to their last strike. He reached on the Elvis error. Now it's Altuve waiting for the 3-2 pitch. Something in his eye, though. Needs a quick timeout. fouled off. Hit pretty well. That's going to land in the club seats. Well foul way out in front. Don't forget, tomorrow night from San Diego, 9 o'clock on the air on Fox Sports Southwest for Matt Harrison and Jason Marquis. Workman again ready with the 3-2. Ground ball, another chance for Andrews. He bobbles that one, comes up firing, got him at first. And the Rangers complete the sweep with a 9-3 victory.
Yeah, Elvis made a nice comeback. I didn't think he was going to be able to get Altuve. Altuve runs well, but he picked it back up and made the play. Almost a second error in the inning for Elvis. Fortunately, he's got enough arm strength to make that play.
How tight was it? They got it right by what, an inch, 2 inches?
That was a good call.
His heel is almost but not quite on the bag. Great call by Dan Iasonia. For all Kirkman's troubles, 2 walks and an error, bases loaded. He did not give up a base hit, much less a run, and the Rangers celebrate. Win that improves them to 40-27 and keeps